I'm in the studio today with my real tax advisor, Tom Wheelwright. He's the author of Tax-Free Wealth. And I love having Tom because an advisor is a teacher. And most financial advisors are fake, especially accountants. So Tom is an accountant, and we're going to talk about taxes. And it's going to be personal today because Tom and I will have a discussion of how I plan to not pay any taxes in the next couple of years.
I make millions of dollars and pay zero taxes legally.
Yeah, well, you already have the money. It doesn't matter whether you deposit or not. It's still taxable, so you don't get to do that. And why would you cheat when you could legally reduce your taxes?
So taxes are basically the way the government sticks their hands in your pocket, and if you like that, more power to you. I really don't like somebody's hands in my pocket. Now, I know you communists out there are going to say, oh, that's not fair. So, well, you can pay all the taxes you want then. You and Elizabeth Warren. But, President Trump and I don't pay much in taxes. And that's the game. But we do it legally. Most people don't plan on taxes until after they get the bill. Or they let the government fleece them. You get a tax refund, which means you're stupid enough to let the government take your money in the first place out of your paycheck. Which I would never do. But some people have to. Anyway, very important because your number one expense, rich or poor, still taxes. You go, well, I don't pay any taxes. Yeah, but you still pay sales tax, gasoline tax, real estate taxes, and all this. So taxes are basically the way the government sticks their hands in your pocket. And if you like that, more power to you. I really don't like somebody's hands in my pocket.
To get 0% tax, you need a team. You can't just do it by yourself. You have to have accountants, attorneys, and real estate guys. You have to have bankers on your side. So that's why having a team is important. Just recently, I made several $1 million last month, tax-free, legally. I say that because, and that's what you'll learn in jail. I say that because legally, because you don't have to be a crook to don't pay tax. You have to be smart. The government wants you to pay no tax. Taxes are incentives. The reason I pay no taxes is because, like I said, I have 4 houses I live in, but 5,000 houses I rent out. By me providing housing, I pay 0 tax because that's what the government wants me to do.
So today, ladies and gentlemen, Tom's going to give you some ideas about if you're a W-2 or an employee, what you can do to minimize your taxes. We do recommend doing it legally. As I always said, I don't want to go to jail and dance with my boyfriend in there. But there's so many things you can do to reduce taxes, but you got to do it ahead of time, right, Tom?
Well, you do. I mean, it's like retroactive planning, reverse planning doesn't work. You have to
go to jail for that one.
Planning means going forward. What happens is that people go, oh, I've got too many taxes. So they do one of two things. They either spend money like her accountant told her to do, right? They go out and buy something they don't need, or it's even worse, they cheat. And I see that all the time. There's a lot of people that go, oh, my tax is too high, I'm going to cheat. I had somebody just the other day, an accountant was telling me that their client had said, well, we're just not going to deposit our checks till the next year. And I'm going, yeah, well, you already have the money. It doesn't matter whether you deposit or not. It's still taxable. So you don't get to do that. And why would you cheat when you could legally reduce your taxes?
There's a part of me just loves to say I make millions of dollars and pay no taxes. It's kind of my, it's the middle finger gesture to the world. And every time I say that, especially on air, boy, does it get hot out there. Because everybody kind of knows the rich make more money and don't pay taxes. So we have Elizabeth Warren running for president or commissar, whatever she's running for, Bernie Sanders and AOC. They want to tax the rich. Do the rich pay more taxes, Tom?
No, the rich will always find a way not to pay those more taxes.
Correct. And ultimately, who gets taxed is the middle class.
Ultimately, that's where the money ends up coming from. Yeah,
So all these, I'm not Republican or Democrat, but when they say they're going to tax the rich, they're coming after your money, not my money. Because as we talk about, there's 2 types of income. There's income from labor. As long as you're working for money, you will pay taxes. But if you're working from capital, pay less taxes. So there's income from capital, which is investments and businesses.
Right.
And there's labor. And whenever your school teacher says to you, go to school, get a job and work hard, fire that teacher. And you want somebody who is not a communist but a capitalist, because you want to go to school, make a lot of money, and pay no taxes. That is the American way. Right, Tom?
Exactly. It's all about
the worldwide way.
The more assets you have, the less tax you pay.
Yeah, and it's worldwide.
It is worldwide. So every country we've ever been to together, Robert, it's the same.
Yeah. So if I'm antagonizing you saying I'll make millions more in money and pay less taxes, you just heard how we do it here. We sit with Tom. I sit with Tom. Kim sits with Tom. Kim's more accurate on the numbers. I like to just make the money. I like to make the money. Kim accounts for the money. And that's how you get rich.
That is, you know what? That's what we're teaching everybody at our Wealth Building Network, is how to make more money and pay less tax.
So if you don't have an accountant or a bookkeeper like Tom, you're going to pay more taxes. So this is a matter of thinking, rather than just going to school, getting a job, and saving money. Getting tax breaks for that?
well, the only one there is the 401k, and everybody knows how we feel about that one. So there's no way to do it without giving your money into the control of the government. I mean, that's really what those plans are. They're a way for the government to control your money and to control your investing. But if you want to have control over your money, then you really have to look at being a business owner or a professional investor.
Right. Another thing, we're talking to Kara, who's she's from Haiti. She's an attorney. She's a PI, a personal injury. She makes a lot of money, but you also gave her some other ideas other than just, you talked about her children and all that. How does that work for a self-employed person?
Well, so for example, one of the things the government wants us to do is teach our children how to work and get them productive into society. And so the government gives tax benefits for employing children in your business. And one of the big tax benefits in the U.S. right now is that we have a $12,000 personal deduction. That means that the first $12,000 of income that you earn is not taxed. Well, that's true for your child just as it's true for you. So if you pay your child...
Can I rent a kid?
You can pay any children you want. You're welcome to pay my children, Robert. Absolutely. Here's the thing, though. If you pay somebody else's child, now they're in control of that money. You're not still in control of it. So you pay your own child, pretty much you're going to be in control of that money, even though you paid the child. You get a deduction. They don't pay tax.
How about age of the child?
Doesn't matter. As long as they can actually do the work. They really do have to work for you. You can't just pretend. We always say if you want to get a pretend deduction, that's fine, but it's pretend.
You go to jail for that stuff.
Exactly.
What else can a person do?
Oh my heavens. You can go on and on. When it comes down to it, though, it's how you use your money, right? Because if you just consume it, if you just spend it, it's going to be taxable to you. But if you put it back into your business, if you put it into real estate, you put it into commodities, oil and gas, oh my heavens, the tax benefits under the new tax law are unbelievable. Let me give you an example. So let's say that you've got a business, you do some real estate, and you go out and you drive to that real estate every day, okay? But you could have a home office. And the IRS actually likes home offices. People think that's a big red flag, but it's not. So you get a home office. Now, every mile you drive of that car, when you're going, you have no commute anymore because you're commuting to your home office. So all of that mileage is deductible. Well, what does that mean? Well, under the new tax bill, that means that you could go buy a car. Let's say you've been wanting a car, but you're going, oh, it's so expensive. But you go buy this big new SUV or a big new truck or something like that. You might be able to deduct as much as 100% of the purchase price. And then you bought it, even if you borrowed all the money this year. So this is actually something like, if you're at the end of the year, then you could actually decide, well, let's see, I'm thinking about buying a new car anyway. Buy it before the end of the year, because then you're going to get a big tax break for it. Let the government pay for part of it.
And the government's happy because you're actually helping the economy with all these jobs and stuff like that.
Well, exactly. What the government's saying is, look, if you're going to take this car and you're going to use it for your business to produce more income, we're going to share in that income. You're going to pay tax on that income. So what we want to do is we're going to give you a tax break on the front end.
The way I pay zero taxes is I have a tax plan. My whole life is based upon paying nothing in taxes. To do that requires different education. For example, if I save money, I pay tax. That's stupid. But if I use debt, I get tax breaks. I'll say it again, okay? If I save money, I pay taxes. If I use debt, and I use about 500 million in the last few years, $500 million, I pay no taxes. Now, the reason that's important is that my education, financial education, with the help of Tom, is all designed on what I have to learn so I can make more money and pay more taxes, less taxes. But if I just come out of college with my PhD, I won't pay tax.
And what the government wants are more people who can create jobs. Maybe not in this country, but in my country, big problem. So we're tax incentivized. The more jobs we create, the less tax we pay. You know, these guys, B quadrant means you have over 500 employees. If you have over 500 employees, you know, different states in America will come to you, which you might move into our state, we'll give you tax breaks. The reason they want you to move to they want me to move from Arizona, where I live now, to California, is because I'll create jobs. That's the reason. So we get tax breaks. These guys get screwed. I mean, they pay higher taxes here. And the I quadrant pays zero. Proven there's a God. Now there's one condition. To get 0% tax, you need a team. You can't just do it by yourself. You have to have accountants, attorneys, and real estate guys. You have to have bankers on your side. So that's why having a team is important.
So this is a matter of thinking, you know, rather than just going to school, getting a job, and saving money. Get any tax breaks for that?
Well, the only one there is the 401k, and everybody knows how we feel about that one. So there's no way to do it without giving your money into the control of the government. I mean, that's really what those plans are. They're a way for the government to control your money and to control your investing. But if you want to have control over your money, then you really have to look at being a business owner or a professional investor.